Good morning. Happy Thursday. Look, he's back in the building. Oh, I love it when this man's in. He's just a superstar. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
I don't know about that, but it's lovely to be
here. No, you are.
Thank you.
You are. Genuinely. Oh, Andrew's like, you're all right. Andrew's in our ears today.
You're all right.
Wondering.
I like that.
All right.
Honestly.
I know. Rude. So we've got Hannah on comments today. We've got our lovely Sophie on cameras. Give us a wave, Soph. Look at that. Cool. So welcome to live shopping here at Highlight Crafts and liveshopping.vip, which is super exciting because now people like Jamie has got her own brand shop.
Very
I
cool,
love
isn't it?
that. I love it. I've been shopping, I'm not going to lie.
Oh dear.
I know.
Just
you know, when you get
access.
Yeah, you know when you get to that time of day and you're like, oh, I need something else other than work. I'll just sit there and go, right, let's have a look what on the website.
I don't blame you.
It's fabulous.
It
So you can now watch us on YouTube. You can also watch us on Facebook, and you can watch us on the website, which is liveshopping.vip, which is super, super exciting. It's very simple to shop with us. All we're going to do is show you a product, and that product will have a code. And all you're going to do is type in shop and then that code into the comments underneath the video stream on your social media platforms. Then you'll get a message to say thank you very much for your order, and in that message is a link. When you're ready to check out, you need to check out before 8 p.m, otherwise all the deals disappear. You will then click on that link. That will take to your basket on the website, okay? Log in and then you can check out. If you're watching and shopping on the website, when you pop something in your basket, you'll get a little red basket at the top of the screen. That shows you your basket, and when you're ready, you click on that, and that will then take you to checkout. So you don't get a message if you're shopping on the website, but you do if you're shopping on social media.
Very clever, isn't it?
I know. I'm impressed that I remembered all that because I've got the attention span of a gnat. Now we've got prices for every pocket today, and what's great is Jamie's giving you some really good discounts built into the price that you're seeing on your screen. So that's really, really cool. So you're getting extras as well, which is lovely. Right, well, we have lots of different combinations today, Jamie. So we have a by the show, which is from here to here. So stamps, dies and stencils.
Yep, right.
We're going to go through all of it, and then we're going to break it down into elements for you. So let's start with Shop Show. Got to be careful how I say that. Shop Show. You get 3 die sets containing 15 dies, and you get 25 stamps. You're going to get 4 8x8 stencils. Yeah, 8x8 stencils. A floral bouquet, which contains 10 dies. And your 3 velvet script sets, which contains 72 dies. So you're getting a lot for your money.
That is an awful lot, actually, when you look at it that way, isn't
right?
It's huge.
It's £114.99, and you're saving £19.90. Right. Over to you. Tell me exactly what all of it. Yes,
so
please.
So today we are bringing you the Cuddly Clan. Now, if you've been following me on my Facebook page, I'm a little bit obsessed and a little bit excited about this. It's a bit weird, but I love it. I think you're going to too. So I'm going to introduce you to 3 brand new characters. Now, this is the beginning of our Cuddly Clan story. So these characters may sort of appear future collections as well, but we're starting off today introducing you to Freddie the Fisherman. Now, Freddie the Fisherman, of course, is our beautiful little cat here. Not only do you have the cat stamp and the cat outline die, you've also got the stamps and dies for his food bowl, his little bucket of fish, a separate fish and a fishing rod to put in with him. Also in the set, you'll also find that you've got a little background fishbone stamp and have a perfect day to go with him. So he is great for just coming in and building up a little set.
I love him.
It's all going to come together for you in one pack, so everything is there straight out the box as such. And there are so many ways we can take Freddie and get creative. Whether we stick with him being a fisherman.
Oh, he's psychedelic. He's done an all-nighter, that one, hasn't he? And his red and green eyes.
Wrote a little post about him yesterday. He reminds me of Ozzy Osbourne. I told him that he went out to the pub, and that's how he come back. So, yeah, he's gone for his little gothic stage with his tattoos and his little jewellery, and he's even got pierced ears and pierced nose and pierced eye. So, yeah, what I'm trying to tell you here is you can take these characters off into all different realms.
I love that.
And like here, Freddie is actually wearing all of Henry's sort of accessories. So we'll see Henry in a minute, but you can interchange between them.
Love that.
And that's the idea. So I'll introduce you to our next one.
Fabulous.
Excuse me. Our next one is Deirdre, the Disco Diva. No, I know. It gets
I was
worse,
writing my
doesn't
cards
it?
out this morning. I was like, that's just epic.
The names, I've had so much fun coming up with the
I
names.
bet.
Me and Pete sit around for hours just coming up with names. I also want to do, and we haven't even started on this one yet, but I want to do Ricky the Bricky.
Brilliant.
Because I just think it's a fun name.
Absolutely.
I don't know if we need a Bricky, but I think it would
I
be a
think we
good
do.
one to have in the
Yeah, I think we
collection. So
do.
maybe later down the line. But today, Deirdre the Disco Diva. So again, what we have here is the stamp for Deirdre. We've then got the matching die. Then on top of that, we've got her little glass, because Deirdre does like a tipple.
Oh,
She's a bit of a drinker.
okay.
Bit of a party animal.
Okay.
She loves ABBA. She'll do anything to get on the disco floor. You know, that's our Disco Deirdre. We then have a little balloon and a party hat to set her off, and a little birthday cake. As well in here, you've got a couple of little sentiments, and you've got little streamers to build up your pictures with as well.
Brilliant.
There is also a disco ball. Now, the disco ball doesn't come with a die to match in this set, but when we get onto the circles later, one of those matches up perfectly to fit within it. So that gives you a little insight to what Deirdre looks like. When we go into the actual sort of samples for these ones, we can see that we don't have to die cut them. These are, of course, stamps that can be used on their own. There are, of course, dies that can be used on their own. And just like before, we can mix and match between the sets to create different scenes and different styles. So loads of different ideas here to share with you, showing you how Deirdre can be creative.
That's fabulous. Right, so at this point, Andrew's been putting the individuals on the screen for you. I'm going to jump and go, if you want, shop clan. So you want the 3 sets that Jamie's just shown you with the stamps and the dies. It's shop clan and it's £53.99. You've got a £5.98 saving. So you've actually got more than your 10% off that, which is fabulous. So if you want that individually, then that's what you can do. Plus, you can also get them individuals as individual sets, which Andrew will put on your screen for you.
Then we move on to Hazardous Henry. So this one works perfectly with our mechanical collection that we bought you a couple of weeks ago, and we're bringing you later today.
Yep.
And this was intentional. I wanted to bring you all of the background elements to go with Henry before we bought you Henry, because of course Henry had to be launched with our Cuddly Clan collection. So again, with Henry, we have his stamp, we then have his matching die, we then have a little traffic cone, a light, a spanner, and a little hard hat to put onto Henry. That also fits really nicely onto Freddie, if you'd like to. In the set, you've also got a couple of little sentiment stamps, a little paw print, and a little banner as well, or sort of barrier set as well that you can sort of build up.
I love this. Look
Henry
at this.
is so much fun to get creative with, and he just literally everything you need is there to build up your scenes. I really like this one. This one's done by Ian, and I think he's taken him off into sort of a James Bond look, which I think is really lovely. Henry is also great for doing some fishing. So if you do want to use the stuff that comes with Freddie, of course, the fishing rod, the little bucket of fish, that works nicely. And I feel his little hazard jacket then suddenly looks a little bit like a little fishing jacket.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, great to do.
Brilliant. I love it.
Or of course, we can keep him in the mechanical collection with that lovely cog background, building up that theme as well.
Fantastic. So shop clan, if you want the stamps and dies by themselves, then absolutely shop clan, £53.99. Right, so next one, stencils, yes please.
So with our lovely stamps and dies, we of course need some stencils to go with them. So this one is our feline paws and bones. I'm showing it to you here embossed because I like to remind you that with a stencil we can always emboss them, especially with our Pro Cut. If you've got your rubber mat, you can send it through your machine and emboss them. So not only are they a stencil, they're also like an embossing plate or folder as such. We can use them embossed or debossed. And of course we can take them into and working with the rest of our collection, whether we're using them for inks, whether we want to go for big projects like this one here. This is actually made out of 2 8x8 envelopes. Our lovely Wendy on our design team created the idea, I believe, and then Lynn's done a little version here with our Freddie to show you that sort of coming together.
Okay.
Then we move on and we've got some spanners. Now again, this is going to go perfectly with the mechanical collection we'll be bringing you later, but it's the same spanner that you're going to find in with Henry. So again, perfect background to go behind Henry. Again, embossed and inked over to give you a bit of an idea of how that's going to look on this card. On the next one that Sharon's done, she's used some of our clear texture paste instead, or of course you could have some sparkly spanners, or of course you could go for some disco ball style spanners with some nice silver glitz instead.
That's fabulous, isn't it? I love that.
It's just a collection that you sort of yo-yo through and play with, and sort of the ideas come flooding really.
Absolutely.
Then we move on and we've got canine paws and bones, so very similar to our cat version, but of course the dog version. So a dog bone instead and a dog paw print. And again, 8x8, so you've got that perfect size background for any size project you want to be working on. We always feel if we give you bigger background stencils, it's easier for you to cut them down than it is to give you a small stencil and try and turn it into a big project.
Absolutely, yeah, brilliant.
And then our last stencil,
Yeah,
and
this is going to be fabulous, isn't it?
I absolutely love this. This is my favourite stencil we've ever done.
Wow.
This is our balloons and streamers. And I just think, you know, when don't we want to stick balloons up for a party or a birthday or Christmas, or every celebration needs a balloon, doesn't it? And this embosses and debosses brilliantly. So again, a great background, not only for this collection, but of course can be used with this one. Even if you just want to keep it simple, like this one here with just the birthday cake that comes in with our Disco Deirdre, that works really nicely. Or of course, we can bring in the main girl herself and stick her on the front with the balloons. Or of course, that's going to work just as well with Freddie holding onto the balloons as well.
I think that's fabulous. So if you want the stencils, remember we're on the shop show at the moment where we're showing you everything that we've got up to here, which is a big bundle. So, but if you want just the stencils, the 4 stencils by themselves, it's shop stencil and it's $21.99. Lovely. Right, next we've got...
Then we move on. Oh, should we do the flowers? Let's do the flowers. I nearly forgot the flowers. So these are designed to be quite cartoony so that they match in very much with the styling of what we're going to be creating with our characters. So in here we've actually got 2 dies, giving you 1 plate for your foliage and 1 plate for your florals.
Fabulous.
Between them you've actually got 10 elements that are going to be cut out. And these are really designed that you can build them up to be little branches and add the flowers onto them, or make big focal areas with your flowers. Or like Lynn has here, turn them into a little wreath. Or like this one. I love this one. And I don't mean this nastily or problematically, but I love how Wendy has coloured in our little Freddie here. I think he's got that look of I'm going to kill you. And I kind of like it. I'm kind of on board with that.
That's kind of a cat look though, right?
I'm behind the bushes and I've seen something that's going to be breakfast. And I really like the way she's done that. So I think, and it's great because it gives them personalities though, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the sign of a good artwork is if you can tell that character's personality just by looking at them.
Yeah, exactly. You know? And that's what we need, isn't it? But if you do want to take him down a slightly darker path, then there's no reason why not. And that's what I wanted, is characters that could do that.
I think every cat owner will relate to that.
My Sherlock, he's got the look. I see a post yesterday all about the position of the tails and where they are to what he means.
Amazing. Right, so the last thing in our selection, in our shop show, is these fabulous 3 velvet script sets, right?
Yes, so this is our script. Now, you might recognise this because it's the same script and font style as we bring to you in all of our sentiment sets, in our banners.
Lovely.
So this is done intentionally. This is our medium set, giving you a little hint that more sizes might come in the future.
Fab.
And it's designed that you can then take something like our sentiments, but add in the names or the birthdays with them as well.
Okay, and I asked the question, the question before we came live is, can we buy your dies, scan them into the scan and cut and resize them? And the answer was absolutely you can, which is fantastic. So if you want the whole lot, everything we've just shown you, it's shop show, it's £114.99 and you've got a £19.90 saving on that one. If you want the stamps and die sets and the stencils, that's shop mega, and that's £71.99 with an £11.94 saving. So if you want that set, that's shop mega. If you want the stamps and dies, that's shop clan, and that is £53.99 with a £5.98 saving. So something for every pocket. And then, of course, they're all available individually as well, but we want to get demos in because Jamie is brilliant at demoing. Jamie has a question for you this morning.
Oh, we do?
What was the name of your first animal? What was the name of your first animal?
My first one was called Rebound. It's a long story.
Okay.
I'll tell you when we're demoing.
Okay.
But called Rebound.
Rebound.
A little hamster.
Mine was.
I'll have to ask yours too.
So mine was a tortoise.
Oh, lovely.
And I called him Fluffy. My mum said I knew you were going to be a bit off the word. I had no idea.
Okay, so there was no relevance to
Hence,
it.
quirky bird.
Okay,
Right?
we like that. That's good. We like quirky. That's good. Good. Fluffy the tortoise.
Fluffy the tortoise. Amazing, right? Next, shop circle. Andrew, I'm not going to respond to that on air. The next time I see you,
later.
duck.
Oh, okay. Okay, more physical. I like it. Okay.
It's being naughty. Right, next set. Now, these are fabulous, Jamie, aren't they? Look at these. already allocating here. Now, you can buy the whole set, all 5 sets, Shop Circle. That's 5 layering circle die sets, £124.99 with a £14.96 saving. You can buy them all individually. So as we go through them, I'll tell you what the code is for each one. But if you want all of them, and they're lovely. These remind me of those, you know, those decollage scissors that you used to get, right?
Yes,
right?
without the faff.
Perfect. Oh, yes,
thank
you.
They never worked.
And the pain in your thumb after you finished.
Yes, exactly.
And lining them up and never getting it right. Right? Perfect.
Felt the
right.
pain.
Tell me about these.
So
then,
if we
please.
start off with the plain ones,
yes.
Let's start at the very beginning. So this is our plain set of nested circles. You're going to get 24 circles in this set. This is just to show you just a little bit of what you'll be able to achieve with them.
Wow.
Of course, we can use them for every mountain layer that you ever create.
Absolutely. They actually seem a lot bigger than some nesting chips as well.
I like big cards.
Yeah,
so if we're going to do something, it's got to go big. So approximately 8 by 8 is your largest, and then the smallest is about 3/4 of an inch.
Brilliant.
So it covers everything.
Fabulous.
Because if you want to construct, if you want to scrapbook, if you want to do your big sort of home decor, we need big dies.
Absolutely, we do. Perfect. So if you want that one by itself, it's shop plain. That's £29.99.
Then we'll move on to our postage ones. So this is our postage edge. So in this one we receive 11 different die sets that can go in and work out to create those different sort of cog styles, really, as well as postage.
Yeah. Fabulous. If you want that one, that's shop postage, £24.99.
And then we move on, excuse me, then we move on to our fluted set. And this one's got 11 dies within this set. And as Mel mentioned, that beautiful sort of Victorian fluted edge to them.
It's beautiful. So shop fluted will get you that one by itself for £24.99.
Now here's where things get really interesting.
I've
saved these two to last, and they're both very similar. When we build collections, we do this intentionally that there's so much scope to them and so much interchangeability. And we've already done this format in squares, rectangles and ovals.
Right.
We've bought you the ovals, we've bought you the rectangles, we'll bring you the squares next time I'm back.
Perfect.
Today's the launch for the circles. And I mention all of this because everything interchanges. And this really is where that interchangeably kicks up a gear. I'm going to start here with our deckled edge and stitched circles. So what we have here is not only do you have the same sort of ratio of deckled edge circles as we've been seeing with the other patterns, in the middle of these, because we had room, we've fitted individual stitch circles. So these are not attached. This isn't where you're going to have them attached to the die. They're individually. So they can be used completely on their own. And that means that you can still put them in place on either side of your decal edge if you wish to, like a lot of nesting dies do. But it means you can take that stitching, and I'm hoping you're going to see this well on your screens, but we can take that stitch element and we can just place that anywhere on our project. Now I've kept them spaced out just like you see them in the packs. You see the idea here of the sizes, but you might choose to overlap them. You might want to bring in an oval and lay that with it, or a square, or any of the other sizes or options. You might prefer to take those and put those in with your matching other edges, and this is why I tell you about the rest of the collection, because it means we can add in that stitch line with our circle, our plain circle. We could then put that into our postage square with our decal edge squares with them. So that's actually 4 different sets used to create that one frame, but it looks like we've got one die to do it.
I think that's fabulous. The versatility in that is quite extraordinary.
And
I think that's just genius, Jamie.
Thank you. That set's 22 dies to give you an idea of how many you're receiving.
And that is shop decal, and it's £29.99 for 22 dies that are interchangeable, which is just fabulous.
Then we move on and we have the scallop and the pierce set. So just like we did with the decals, we're bringing you all of the different sizes of the scallops. But again, in here, you've got all of those separate pierce lines. So again, you can take them, you can place them wherever you wish to, use them independently, or of course, put them back with the dies if you wish to.
Fantastic.
And then one thing to mention on this, and I only did this yesterday, something that came to me and I remembered that we could do this. This is taking the second size up of the scallop circle and making a little rose from it.
Isn't that fabulous?
Yeah, you know, it's common sense, isn't it? We buy
but you
the
forget,
dies to
don't
do them.
you? Because you would buy a die to make that, wouldn't you? And there would have been about £17, £18.
Yeah.
But it's just a spiral, right?
Yeah, and all I've done is just cut into it and then with tweezers, because I couldn't even find my quilling tools, just twisted it around and made a little rose out of it.
Isn't that fab?
And that was just from the second size, so you think of how big we could be doing these.
And look how professional that looks when you put it on that card there, because everything, the scallops the same, the pin dots are the same. It's brilliant. So if you want that one, shop scallop, £29.99 will get you that set. But your best value is to get all of them for £124.99. You've got a £14.96 saving there, which is great. And if you're ready for some new, different edges, because I certainly haven't seen any like this before.
Good.
And the scallop is a really dainty scallop, isn't it? It's very feminine. Yeah,
I find it sometimes we do really big scallops and things, and then it's like a lot of land that you don't know what to do with.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
too much.
Yes,
so I want it small.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, next one is Shop Floral Bouquet. Have we done that one?
Yeah, we've done that
one,
we
but we got it individually. So if you want the floral bouquet by itself, it's £14.99. If you want the scripts by themselves, it's £31.99 with a £3.98 saving. And then we move on to this glue.
Oh, our glue.
Your glue, right? And then we'll demo.
So if we start with the small ones?
Yes, please.
So with our small glue, you're going to receive 225ml bottles of glue. This is a clear drying glue. It goes on white, but it will dry clear. It also makes a great like glossy accent, but more like a matte glossy accent, if that makes any sense, to do the eyes and the noses on the characters.
Brilliant.
Because it doesn't dry sticky, and it comes with a precision nozzle that you choose where you wish to cut it. So it's up to you how much you wish to be using at a time. And then you've got your vacuum seal lid to make sure that it doesn't block.
Brilliant, because there's nothing more frustrating, is there? Right?
No.
So if you want, if you want two 125ml dry clear glue, it's £12.99. Now then, this for me is where I'd buy that, and then I'd buy that and refill those.
Absolutely,
right?
That's our intention.
Perfect.
So this is your big bottle. This is the equivalent to 8 of these smaller bottles. So value for money wise, it works out about half the recommended retail price on buying these. So
if you want that one, it's shop litre, because you're getting a litre of glue, and it's £27.99, which is fab. Right, my lovely, shall we do demo?
Absolutely.
Oh, here he goes. This is the fab bit, and this is the exciting bit. Right, don't forget to tell us what your first pet was called. That's quite funny. Oh, we've got we've got a lot of. I know, right? I've just been a bit weird. My mum and dad, you know, when I was little, took me to see a psychiatrist because because of this, I hope. No, because I'd go in a room and literally bring the roof down. I used to have proper temper tantrums. And he came back and he went, no, there's nothing wrong with her. She's just got red hair and the temper to go with it. So there you go. Not
many people can say they've been checked. I like this. Been checked. I'm okay.
All right.
All's fine.
I'm not sure that it was a good thing, but anyway. Right, so we're going to put Shop Show back on the L for you. So that's everything. Your 3 sets of dies and stamps with 15 dies and 25 stamps. Your 4 8x8 stencils. Your floral bouquet, which includes 10 dies. Your 3 velvet script sets, which is 72 dies. It's £114.99, and you've got a £19.90 saving. But everything on the show apart from the circles and the glue, right? Which is brilliant. Right, my lovely. Mine was a rabbit called Thumper, Mrs. H999. Love that. I think that's fabulous. We've got all sorts going on here. Have we got any more? Can't find any more names at the moment. Let's have a look. Right, let's see what Jamie's doing. And I had 2 tortoises called Nutty and Shelley. See, that's better than Fluffy, isn't it?
That does makes a little bit more sense.
Well,
but we don't make sense, do we? And that's the good bit. That's
well, my dog's now called Mr. Bojangles.
Very good. Very,
it's one of my favourite songs ever.
Okay.
And he's a little bit mad.
I like that.
To say the least.
So what I've done so far is I've taken Freddie and I've just gone ahead and I've stamped out Freddie so that he's ready to be die cut. And then we're going to.
What ink pad have you used?
So I'm using one of our ink pads. We've not bought these for you today, but it's just it's a quick dry pigment ink pad. So it's just a true essential, really. But they're alcohol friendly, so that we can colour them with the alcohol markers, and we don't have to worry about that. They're waterproof, they're pigmented, so we can emboss them. Brilliant. So it's kind of an all-rounder ink, really.
Yeah, like a hybrid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
But you can use whatever inks you wish to. I've stuck to just black outlines for the majority of mine, but there's no reason you have to. Think about embossing them, bringing in all that sort of different.
And you used a stamping platform?
I did use a stamping platform. I'm not the best stamper in the world, so I love the fact that a stamping platform just kind of hold my hand.
Yeah.
And if it goes terribly wrong, it's not the end of the world.
No,
is it? I can
absolutely not.
So we're just going to take our die and we're going to place that around Freddie. Now, when you're at home, you'll have a little bit more time to line that up perfectly, but I think we're pretty spot on. But of course, you can see that the black line of the stamp runs around the inside of the die. So that's going to give you that little white frame that we like to have. That crisp edge, isn't it?
I like
that. Fresh edge.
And also, if you cover in with alcohol markers, you can go around that way with a pale grey and it makes all the colour pop.
Oh, That's a
like a
nice
shadow.
idea.
Yeah, it's really
That's
cool.
a nice idea. I always say this, I colour like a 2-year-old.
Do you?
I'm not an experienced colourist at all. I'm not qualified at colouring. It's sort of colour and hope.
Colour and hope.
Colour and
I think
hope.
it's a thing again, if you've got the right pens and the right ink in that pen, and it's understanding how an alcohol marker, it's understanding how any colouring medium works, then you get to grips with it. But yeah, that was fabulous.
Freddie.
Look at Freddie.
Now, of course, we also have the aperture that we have created. Now, I'm going to rip this because of my tape, but it doesn't matter. It's more just showing you that you can, of course, also create your apertures with Freddie and then sink him back inside them, which works quite nicely.
Isn't
we don't
that
always
fabulous?
think of that, do we?
No.
But it will all sort of line up for you.
That's brilliant.
If that's something you would like to do. So we'll move on to the next part. Now, I've done a lot of cheating today. I said to Mel before we started, I've done an awful lot of cheating. There's a lot of sort of cutting corners. So we'll bring in some pieces and start layering them together. Now, I'm going to colour my little cat or creation in with alcohol markers. So whenever I do that, I use the same alcohol marker to colour around the edges of the card, just so that everything matches in.
Brilliant.
So we'll place that down.
We've talked about that quite a lot recently, about using just regular white card. Instead of covering up all that nice coloured card that you've got, save it for whatever you scan and cut, whatever you're doing die cutting, so you don't get that white edge, but use your alcohol markers. It's perfect, isn't it?
It's nice that it ties in perfectly.
It
because
is.
we don't normally have that ability to tie in just spot on, do we?
And you don't have that, oh, that orange will do.
Exactly.
You don't have that,
we
it'll
want something to match.
Yeah.
So I won't do some colouring because you've kind of seen colouring, haven't you? But I've gone ahead already and I've coloured in Freddie. Now I've purposely just gone around the edge of his face here, because what we're going to do, and this does feel slightly mean, is we're going to cut his head off. So we're going to go in and we're just going to go across underneath his little fluffy sort of face.
So not only does he want to kill you.
Well, now you can see why he's got anger issues, can't you?
I love it.
So this is a little tip.
Yeah,
Poor
I
little,
think it's lovely.
Poor little beheaded Freddie. Not only does that mean that we can use just the head on its own, and you'll see some cards dotted around where we've done that somewhere, but it is a great way to just use that and treat it as its own independent stamp. Another little tip I'll give you is I feel will add more and more to the Cuddly clan as we go through the next year or so, I should imagine. But in the meantime, if you cut his head off, you can then bring his head back in and you can reposition it. So if you want to stand and make them look like they're talking to each other and build them up slightly differently, it just gives it that sort of individual character aspect of it.
Absolutely.
It also means that we can then layer his head as well. And again, if you wish to, you could then cut off the one behind it, but we'll go for matching up perfectly this time so that we have Freddie just in place. But it brings in that dimension,
Yeah,
doesn't
I love it.
We're then going to, actually let's stick him onto our card so we can build him up properly. So we'll bring in our background panel. Now this background panel, I've gone ahead and done this already. This is just using the paw print. And I've actually gone for the paw print that comes with the dog set, because I feel if it's hidden away in the back, we're not overly going to notice that it's not quite the right paw print. It's not the end
And
of
these
the
look like a really deep polymer stamp.
They are. They're actually a PVC stamp.
Oh.
Which is something I hadn't personally done a lot of work with previously.
I've never heard of them.
But in fact, just found that they're really strong.
Oh, they are, yes.
So they've got more sort of body to them.
Yeah, they are.
And
they're deep, look.
They're deep, very, very deep on the impression, and got more body to them. And they're a lot stronger than I found a lot of stamps before. So yeah, I really fell in love with them.
Interesting.
But slightly different material to what you might imagine.
Yeah.
But work really nicely. We're then going to bring in our little fish bucket, because Freddie's had a very productive day out doing his
looks
fishing.
like he has, yeah.
And we're going to bring that in and we're going to place that down.
Look at that.
And then I've already gone ahead and I've cut out his hand, because I wanted to put his hand going over the top of that bucket, just so it looks like he's properly got it in his paw.
Love that.
So we'll bring that in and we'll place that over the top.
He's super cute, isn't he?
And then somewhere in my little set of stuff here, we've got a little fish, because in his other hand, on his productive fishing day, he's got a big fish. So we're going to stick that one over here as well. And then somewhere we should have another little hand, but if I can't find it, it's not the end of the world. And then we'll add on a little sentiment. There should be another little hand somewhere. Wherever hid his other little hand, it'll turn up. These things usually turn up when I get home.
Oh, absolutely.
So
when it's clearing down, right?
We'll dig out his hand at another stage and add that on. But that gives you a little idea of how quickly and easily you can take Freddie,
That's fabulous.
stamp him out, cut him out, colour him in, and build him up.
I think that's fabulous, and it looks like he's one of the fishes jumped out of the back bucket, doesn't it? Which is great.
Doesn't it?
I love that. Right, I'll do a really quick recap and then I'll be
Okay.
back for another demo.
Brilliant.
All right, so come with me. If you want shop show, so everything that goes from here to here, it's shop show. You're getting 15 dies in your stamps across the 3 stamp sets and 25 stamps. You're also going to get 4 stencils, your floral bouquet and your velvet script sets. So in total, you've got 82, 92, 97 dies, 25 stamps and 4 stencils. That's a lot. So look at this chap here, isn't he fabulous? Freddy the fisherman. We've just seen Jamie demonstrate with that, with all the little bits. I love you've even got, look, the fish bones. I think that's just brilliant. So you get that one, and I'll just show you one of the packets so you see what the format's like. So you've got your strip of your stamps in there, and then your coordinating dies for some of them as well. So that's fabulous. Let's have a look at a few of these little samples. Look at this. Aren't they fabulous? That's really good. This card is under construction. Isn't that fabulous? I love that. And then you can go a little bit goth, look. How fantastic is that? My grandson would love that. He's going through that thing at the moment. Comes out with black eyeliner on and black and red hair, and I'm like, oh, here we go. It's like going back to when Matthew was young. Then we've got, and I love her, I think she is absolutely fabulous, Deirdre, the Disco Diva. I mean, what a name. Isn't that just fabulous? And you can see she's a proper party animal. She's got a little cake in there, a balloons, a champagne glass, party hats, streamers, and the disco ball. And it says, it's wise to have a hoot on your birthday, and owls just want to have fun. That's brilliant. I love that. So you get that set as well. Then you also get our fabulous Hazardous Henry. Look at this with the traffic cone and the dog all dressed up with his little spanner in his hand, his hard hat, and then his extra little pieces that go on to the barriers like that, and then caution birthday ahead, which is fab. So you get all of those stamps and dies. You then get all 4 8x8 stencils. So your feline paws and bones, which is brilliant because you've got the fish bones in there. Look how fabulous that looks on a bag. Look at that. Isn't that great? 20% of shop show is in allocation. Now, Jamie has another show later on from repeat of last week, but tomorrow we have 2 hours of this. So if you want to get it in your basket, then tomorrow you can sit back, put your feet up and enjoy the show. Next one is spanners. So you've got your 8x8 spanners. We always complain we don't have enough stuff to make men's cards. Well, this is fabulous. So shop show was going to get you everything I'm showing you at the moment. You then get canine paws and bones. These are all available individually. So Andrew will put those that information on your screen and keep rolling through it as we're going through. And then your final 8x8 stencil is your balloons and streamers. Now this is one that is never going to leave your desk, I shouldn't imagine. That's fabulous. This would be lovely with a foil pen.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Foil through that. That would be really, for like a 50th wedding anniversary. Beautiful. Gold foil would look lovely, wouldn't it? So, shop balloons, and that's balloons and streamers. Now then, this for me is worth its weight in gold. So you're getting this set of dies. I'm just going to try and find the board. We had a board somewhere. Where's the board gone? I don't know, Pluto. I don't know where the board's gone. But anyway, let's have a look. We've got these dies. So you've got your florals, all your florals on one plate. I remember buying an EK Success Punch, $24.99 for that flower. It was something similar to that. So you've got all your flowers on there and your foliage, which is lovely. And that's included as well. So you've got your florals to enhance everything. And then your fonts. So these are your velvet script sets. So you get your numbers, your lowercase, your uppercase, your at, hashtag and question mark and exclamation mark, and you also get your punctuation marks, your full stop and your comma. So all of that in one big bundle. Shop show, 20% of it is already allocated in people's baskets. This is the first show of 3 hours with this, and then you've got the mechanical from last week later on with our Lou Withers, and she'll love that. That's right up her street. If you want the stamp sets and the dies and the stencils, so you just want this collection, these collections here, that's Shop Mega. It's $71.99. You've got an £11.94 saving. So because you're watching this now on liveshopping.vip, Jamie's including the discount in his price, so he's giving you that saving, because now it's up to the suppliers to decide what they want to bring you. So you're getting a really good saving of $11.94 there. Shop Clan is these. All right, so you've got your Shop Clan 3 stamp and die sets. That's Shop Clan $53.99 with a $5.98 saving. 10% of that is in people's baskets. Did you say go to the circles, Andrew? Yes? Circles are busy. Right, so you can buy all of them. So we've got 23, 45, 79, 89, 90, and you've got 101 dies for $124.99 with a £14.96 saving. I remember, Jamie, way back when we used to do Pick of the Days on Ideal World. We had 11 live hours, and that set alone would have been over £120.
I remember
and we
them
could
days.
not keep them in stock.
I'm with you.
The other thing we couldn't do is get them out the die.
I also remember the alphabets.
Oh,
do you remember the price of an alphabet die?
Yes,
they were
I
literally like 150 quid for a set of alphabet dies.
Amazing, right?
Bonkers money.
Absolutely bonkers.
But they were essential, and we needed them. We had to have them.
So, plain circles. If you want the plain circles, it's Shop Plain, $29.99 by itself. This is when you're going to start to see the saving. Then you've got Shop Postage. This is brilliant because it works with also as a cog, doesn't it? Which is brilliant.
Perfectly.
So it'd be great with your collection this afternoon. Then you've got your fluted, which is lovely. That is just classic, those scissors that you used to drive you crazy. And halfway through, they wouldn't quite meet, would they? And it'd make your card fold in half. Yep. They were an absolute nightmare. But at the time, it was all we had, and we got really excited about it.
Yeah.
So if you want those by themselves, Shop Fluted, that's $24.99. If you then want this one, which is brilliant, that Decal Edge, again, Shop Decal, $29.99. You're getting 22 dies in this one, but very, very cleverly, let me show you this board. So you're getting your Decal Edge dies, which are literally the Decal Edge. So if I turn this over, you'll be able to see. So you've got your Decal Edge there, and that's your cutting edge that's going to cut your circle out. You then also get, in between each one, a stitch line. Now this is going to cut into your cardstock, and then you can put that in between those two and make a frame. You can put that on your card by itself. You can put that with that. You could leave that out and put that with that. You could use that one and two inside. So you've got so much versatility. This is the kind of stuff I like, because then I like working out how many different combinations you've got. There'll be hundreds, right? Hundreds of different combinations, which is fabulous. Do these work with these?
Yes. Yeah, I'll show you that.
These work right the way across.
Everything interchanges. So every circle will mix and match with every circle.
Amazing. I'm not surprised it's busy then. And then you've also got your scallop edges with your pin dot detail. So same thing again, look, you've got all your pin dot detail that goes right the way through there. That's lovely just by itself, isn't it?
It is. Beautiful background.
And then you can see it with the scallop on there too. Brilliant, brilliant idea. I love that. So if you can stretch to it, go for the whole lot, because then you're going to get every single combination you can possibly imagine. Every time you make a card, it can be different, which is really cool. Shop Circle, 5 layering circle die sets, 101 dies in total, $124.99. You've got a £14.96 saving. We have a question about the alphabet from who, darling? Oh, yes. Go on. Tissy. Is it on one sheet or individual?
Great question.
That's a great question.
Yeah, these ones are strips. So you've got strips with these ones here.
There you go, look.
Your numbers are all on one panel, but these are broken down into strips, just so you don't have to cut everything if you don't want to.
Good idea, absolutely. And if you bought the alphabets, you could then cut them out and scan them into your scan and cut, because our Jamie gives you permission to do that, which is fabulous. So then you can have them whatever size you want, and your matte layers as well, which is cool.
And if you're not a scan and cutter, I will just highlight that these are the medium set, indicating that there may be other sizes later in the year. And we tell you this again because I always think that's quite important. It is. Because we want to know that we can put mum big and then maybe, happy birthday small or whatever the combo is.
Absolutely.
So maybe there'll be more. And
you're buying into a system. That's the cool thing, isn't it? You're buying into a system. Right. Sue says, my fingers are not working. I'll try that again. Just a glue. Oh, she's talking to somebody else online. Just a glue. Oh, no, just a glue. And they'd have a proper conversation. So I love it.
Like,
it's brilliant. Honestly, this community is just fabulous. Well, it's starred, Andrew, so I'm presuming you've starred it, love. Have you not? Because I've got 3 stars on my iPad. Have you?
Very clever system.
Oh, Hannah starred them. Okay. Does the glue in the 1 litre bottle will work with needle nozzles, please? I bought many and found most of them don't.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
Being honest.
There you go.
Honesty is the best policy.
Absolutely.
If you take them and you put them into the smaller bottles, I just find it's a bit cloggy.
Yes.
Thick.
Yes.
I don't know what word you wish to
and you kind of
insert,
want
but
that because if you want a glue to go through a nozzle, it means it's got quite a high water content, right?
Exactly.
So you actually want this, and you can. What I love is that you haven't just given us notches. You can cut that wherever you want. So if you cut it right at the tip, you'd get that fine application anyway.
And then you should be fine.
Yes,
it's just more when you go to them sort of pinpoint bottles. That's so super ridiculously fine.
Yeah, it is.
That we are just getting a very fine line of not a lot really in comparison.
No, I agree.
So so being honest, I wouldn't recommend it.
Michael Cooley is asking, can we make and sell?
Absolutely, Michael. Yeah, of
there
course
you go.
You can. You can
Perfect.
sell as much as you want to. We always want you to try and either raise money for charity or be able to reinvest.
Absolutely. Right, Tissy. Oh, Tissy, we've done. Right, lovely. Thank you to everybody joining us. It's a pleasure, as ever, to have your company. And I'm very excited that we've got Jamie in for 2 hours today. So this show and then another show with Lou. And then 2 hours tomorrow, double one with me, which I love, which I love. And then I'm going home. So it'll be a nice way to start the weekend, won't it? Right, my lovely. Good. What are we going to do next?
So should we play with Deirdre? Deirdre's sat in the box for too long. She needs to get out and boogie. So we're going to bring in Deirdre. And we're going to start off with the background. We're going to play with the balloons. So I've already gone ahead and I've got my stencil. I've got a piece of white card that we're just going to lay over the top. We're going to add on our lovely rubber mat to go through the Pro Cut, and we're going to send this through. Perfect. So that then embosses it for us.
Now, at the next hour, Stephanie and I are bringing you the last show of the monthly mega deal, which is the Pro Cut. Ooh. Oh, it's me and Carly now. Okay, fine. Okay, it's me and Carly now. But Carly will show you lots of hints and tips and tricks with your Pro Cut. It's still on the mega deal of $119.99. As a club member, it's $108. And then we give you 8 sets of dies.
I know.
Isn't that ridiculous?
I bought one.
Isn't that ridiculous?
It was my third.
Now then, Jamie Rodgers has 3 of them. If that isn't a good endorsement, I don't know what is.
I do genuinely have 3 of them. The plates I'm using are my plates. I bought my plates from at home. I was saying this when I did a show with Steph not that long ago. I don't know why. It seems a bit weird that I bring plates to the home of the machine. Yeah. But it's a bit like taking your own knife and fork out for dinner. I don't know. Some people do that. I don't. But I know a lot of people do. And it's kind of that thing, isn't it? Yeah. I do take my own pillows to a hotel, though.
I do too.
So it's kind of that.
Yep.
That bit of knowing your own world, isn't
it?
Knowing
absolutely.
It's going to do what you want it to.
And also knowing I'll be able to get out of bed in the morning and not have a back that just seizes up over me. Because if my neck's all right, my back's all right. If it's not, I'm done.
We know the limits.
Yeah.
So all we're going to do is just take, and we're not going to do loads of this, we're just going to do a small area. We're going to take in some oxide inks and just go over the top of this. So where we've embossed it, just in case, because I didn't show you that, did I? We embossed it. We're now going to highlight the embossed texture to it. So this again is kind of like having an embossing folder with a matching stencil, but instead of having to buy 2 components, we're doing it with 1 item. Lovely. Which just saves us a few pennies and gives us a bit more creativity from 1 item.
Perfect. Yvonne Johnston, the issue that you've got, if you email help@highlightcrafts.com, we will help you out with that. Okay. So anything like that, just email help@highlightcrafts.com.
You're an amazing team.
We're a family, aren't we? We just all muck in and we all do it and we all make it work. Yeah. And without the customers, none of us will be here. So,
absolutely.
We're very grateful that you watch us every day and we're very grateful that you shop with us and we try and make it as good as possible.
Exactly.
Right?
That's our aim, completely.
Fabulous.
So I've taken that through. I've just done a little bit of highlighting with that ink to make that background. But can you see the level of embossing that we achieved? Now, the machine does obviously the hard lifting on this department for us, but the stencils are cut from a slightly thicker mylar to what a lot of stencils are cut from. So they're not so rigid you couldn't still form them around a vase if you wanted to paint or stipple on a vase or something like that. But it does mean that they're a little bit thicker, so when we use them with our texture paste, we're going to have more depth. When we emboss with them, we've got more depth as well.
Okay, Shop Show now is getting really busy. It's over 20% now of the stock. So And shop mega is 10% as well. So you're absolutely selecting the ones that you want, but also understanding that that main big bundle, that shop show, is where you're going to get the best saving and the best value. But you know what? Everybody's everybody's pocket is different, right?
Absolutely.
But I like it that you bring everything individually.
We try to.
Right?
If we can, it's best that we give it to you in every option, isn't it? It's like always. So next what we're going to do is we're just going to play with some of the circles. Lovely. So I'm going to bring in the fluted edge circle. So again, you can see that that one's just a plain edge on its own as such. We're then going to bring in the stitch line. Now the stitch line comes with the decal edged circles. So we can bring that in and we can place that down and it will fit perfectly within our fluted edge. Now if we wanted to, and this is the joy of having them as individuals, for this project I didn't, but there's no reason why we can't, we'll bring in a couple of extras and we'll place them in there.
Fabulous.
Then if we want to, we could then go into the plain set and say, well actually we'll cut out the centre of that circle so that we can create a frame instead of a panel. Let's see. Let's get the right one. There
okay, we're approaching 20% of that big circle collection in people's baskets. So if you want that, it's shop circle. You get all 5 sets, 101 dies in total with, I'm going to say thousands of different combinations, right? Thousands of different combinations.
Them, but
no, there will be. I can, yeah.
So,
absolutely. There's so many. 124.99, £14.96 saving. I like this. I like the way you still store these. This is good.
Thank you. At home, I buy racks from IKEA. They're plate racks.
Right.
So they're like pine racks with little legs on them. I'm always on about these on my Facebook.
That's clever.
And then I stand these labelled in the, it's like a toast rack to look at, I suppose. So they stand in the toast rack and then I can see where they are.
Amazing.
So
mine, if you open, there's a big like wardrobe dresser. It was meant to be a dinner service. Piece of furniture, you know, where we were really posh, and you open it up and all your dinner services inside. Mine's jam packed full of craft stuff, full of craft stuff. But when you open the doors, I've got magnetic sheets on the inside and all my dies are on there. So you can see them instantly, can't you?
I have put some magnet over my walls and my doors. I haven't decorated my craft room, so literally the doors, it's a long story to this, but we've got a bathroom. We don't use it as a bathroom. It's now decked out with shelving.
Amazing.
Instead, it's taken over every part of it. But the door between the craft room and the bathroom is magneted for all of the other dies. I just have so many, but my dies, I keep them all on these because if I take them around and use them,
fantastic.
It's easy carry.
Yeah, absolutely.
So going back to where we were, this is what we created. So we've created our 3 stitch rings and then we've created our middle part to it. And you can stop wherever you want to with this. It's completely down to you.
That's brilliant.
For me, and I know we must be sort of getting short on time, so I'm going to speed up a little bit and bring these in.
About 8 minutes.
Oh, good.
So we're all right.
So we'll bring in our panel. So here's one I did earlier and completed it. We'll place that down, and then for speed, and I am really being cheeky because we've done a lot of this in advance, I'm going to bring in Deirdre, and Deirdre's already been stamped and added onto her circle. And then in with Deirdre, you've got lots of little 2 different streamer style stamps. So I've used the same colours that I blended with to just stamp over the circle.
I love that. I love her. She's like, let's go. We're going out, right?
And she's going out. And the other good bit with Deirdre is the way she's got her wings. One looks as if it's holding on to something. So you can put something in there. Either it's her martini glass because she loves a martini, or it could be the spanner. You know, and that's what I wanted.
Brilliant.
I wanted you to be able to go off between the different sets and play.
Fantastic.
So we're then going to bring in, and I'm not recommending you put your glue on your skin, but I do. So please forgive me on that one as well.
That's all right.
But I'm going to take our numbers, and we're going to bring in just a small banner, and we're going to place down just a couple of these, just so you can see what we're doing. But I'm going to be ahead. I'm never ahead in life. So let's start and create our 2026 New Year card.
2026.
When I did this and I shared it with the design team, they were like, Jamie, it's not even 2025 yet. Why are you doing 2026? Because I was making this in the gap between Christmas and New Year.
The answer to that is I can.
Have you got the wrong year? I was like, no, I'm ready. I'm ready for next year. I'm ready.
And now, speaking of the glue, you can buy 2 125 bottles of this glue and you just snip the nozzle to where you want it to be. The fact that it's got a vacuum sealed lid means that you're not going to get clogs in that bottle. All right, so as long as you keep that lid on and you press it down firmly, you'll be good to go. Now then, I want to talk about the litre bottle, because if you are conscious of the environment that we're living in, or the cost actually, because this is the best way to buy it. So if you start with these 2, then you can decant that into it.
You can do, absolutely.
Right? Or maybe you have a favourite bottle and you can decant it into that.
You can do.
Right? But you're getting 8, the equivalent of 8 of these in that litre bottle. So if you were doing that, you're getting 2 for £12.99. So each one is £6.50. Multiply that by 8, that's 6 8 is 48. £52 you would spend if you bought 8 of those compared to buying that. That's shop litre and it's £27.99. The other thing that's really good is Amanda last year when we did Easter, she blew up some balloons and then she used string and PVA glue and wrapped it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then you leave it to set and then you pop the balloon and it makes this lovely Easter egg.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
having a big bottle like that is absolutely fabulous. And again, just snip it when you need it, keep the cap on top, but it just decants in. So A, you're not wasting plastic bottles.
Nope.
And B, you're saving a lot of money, which
and
is
the
great.
prices we worked out, that was on your bundle price as well. The actual recommended retail price of these is $7.49 each.
Right. Perfect. So you know what?
Saving even further.
Absolute deal. Right, shall we do another quick recap, Andrew, with Jamie? Oh, have I lost him? I might have lost him.
I've lost him.
He might have gone. He might have
Keep him
gone.
under
Here
the
he is. He's
counter.
back again. No, it's me. And I know why. Because my ears, my ears get really itchy. Apparently it's a menopause thing, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But trying to keep these in my ears, and I've got the smallest buds in now, so every time I try and push it back in my ear, it goes beep, and Andrew gets cut off,
Oh, okay.
which sometimes is really useful. But other times I'm like, where's he gone?
The way you went to get him from under the counter reminded me of the woman on the British Empire who kept her children in the cupboards. That was all I could see. I was like, oh, where's Andrew? And off he went.
Amazing. Right, we've got 4 minutes. Let's recap the Shop Show bundle. 30% is now in people's baskets.
And I can tell you that you've got all of the stock you can have.
Perfect.
There is no more.
Right.
So when this is gone with you guys, it's gone with you guys. So yeah,
Okay.
when we talk of that, there's no magic number we can add to that.
Perfect.
So with these then, you've got your stamps and your dies. You've got your 3 different sets. We've got Henry, Deirdre, and of course Freddie, giving you the ability to mix and match between them to create different scenes as you want to. On top of that, you've then got your flower die set, giving you 10 components that you can bring in and layer, whether you use them with the characters or completely on their own is up to you. Then you have your script set. So again, matching in with the sentiment sets we've already brought to you, but you've got your upper, your lower and your number set, giving you the most interchangeability we possibly can.
Yep, absolutely.
Even in a few additions as well. And then you've got your 4 coordinating stencils that run through this collection as well. So you've got the balloons to go with Deirdre, we've got the dog paw prints and bones to go with Henry, the spanners that match with Henry, and then of course your cat paw print and fish bones to go with Freddie.
That's fabulous. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's have a look at some samples, shall we? Let's give you guys at home some more inspiration, because this is lovely. We've got 3 minutes left on the show, and then I'm dashing next door to be with Collie for our last of our Pro Cup mega deal.
So if we start by looking at a few from Deirdre, we can see here how Deirdre again is surrounded by her disco balls. On this one done by Lynn, she's got her little champagne tower going on. Another little one here just sort of showing that birthday feeling. This one bringing in the stencil to emboss in the background and the sentiments to create the name Lisa. Then we've got our lovely little owl out ready to do some sort of mechanical work with the spanner. Then we've got one being brought in here just using the stamps instead of the dies. And of course, if you wanted to, you could have then cut and layered that as well. You don't have to, but you can. And then another one where Deirdre is ready to be the life and soul of the party.
Isn't that fabulous? I love her. Deirdre the Disco Diva. I love the name. I think Deirdre is just a perfect name, isn't it? I love that.
As I say, genuinely, I think too much fun coming up with the names. I've
Yeah,
got a book
absolutely.
at the moment of different names, occupations, themes that hopefully we'll visit.
Love
Then
that.
we've got Henry, so I'll just show you a couple here with Henry coming in and sort of been built up with his scene. And then, of course, one here with Freddie's sort of set up as well. And then quickly, we then have Freddie as well, giving you that sort of fishing setup that you just see being used with Henry. But of course, if we look at this card, you can see Freddie holding onto the glass and celebrating with Deirdre.
Isn't that just fabulous? I love them. So everything is available individually for you. So if you want a single stamp set with the dies, that's available. If you want just the stamps by themselves, you can do that as well. So that would be Shop Clan. You get the stamps at 3 sets of stamps and dies for $53.99. If you want the Shop Mega, which is the stamps and dies and the stencils, that's Shop Mega $71.99 with your £11.94 saving. So now we're on liveshopping.vip. our guests that come in, our suppliers can come in and they have their own brand shop, which means that you can go on to liveshopping.vip at any time and Jamie's products will be there. And I love that because it means that you can mix and match all together. So you're getting a discount that our suppliers choose to give you, which is fabulous. So for example, on the shop show, you've got a £19.90 saving, which on a price of £114.99 is a lot more than 10%. All right, so isn't that great? Because you're a crafter and you understand what we need, right?
And we know we need it all, so if we can save a few pennies somewhere, we will.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. What time's your next show?
12.
12 o'clock with Lou. Now, Lou's never worked with you before.
No, I know.
Worked with Lou. Right, lovely. Talking about magnets, ask her about her eyelashes.
Oh, okay.
Right, just say, Mel says you've got to tell me about your magnetic eyelashes because Carl, honestly, I've never seen him laugh like that, was almost crying last night. It was hilarious. So ask her the question. I'll see you in about 4 minutes' time with our Carly with a Pro Cut deal that Jamie's got 3 of. 3? Who knew?